everybody, today we're going to be doing some LeetCode, and particularly we're going to be doing the question called flood fill. It's a pretty common LeetCode question that's asked, and it has some really good techniques that are pretty critical to a lot of algorithm questions. So if you're ready, let's get started. Alright, so let's get started with flood fill here. So in flood fill, we're given an image that's an n times n. Which is basically just saying that we have a 2D array with m rows and n columns, and each value represents some pixel value. It's just, just the prompt here, and then we're given rows, columns, and a color. So how this works is you start off with the starting location. So I guess we'll look at example 1 here, and what it's saying is you start off with 1, 1, which is 1 row, 1 column, so it's right here, and then you have to make sure that any other column in directions up, left, right, and down. If those are 1s, you change them to this color that we want, which in this case is 2. So here, again, you look up, right, down, left, and then here you see left and up are 1s, so we can change those to 2s, as shown in the answer. And also we change the current cell to a 2, but we don't change any of the other ones because they're not a 1. And then this one is not connected because it's only connected diagonally, and we're not looking at that. So basically it's just checking all the adjacent ones and changing them to 2s, and then again you're changing those adjacent ones that we just changed to all 2s as well. So that's why these also got changed here. And again, we have to do some bound checking here, because you see up, of course we can't change anything up here because that is not in the array, and same thing with the left and right, upper and lower bounds basically. So yeah, it's just changing one of them to all the adjacent ones to 2s, then you change the ones that you just changed, their adjacent ones to 2. So it's basically a depth first search, right? So I think that makes sense. And yeah, here if there is nothing to be changed, you just return the same array. So we'll actually make 2 methods here. This is kind of slightly annoying because it's making us return a 2D array, and the DFS it's probably easier to just have something that's return type of void. So I guess we can just set up this. So what we'll do is the current color will just be the starting location, right? So it's our image at this row and this column, and we'll make sure that if the current color isn't equal to the color that we desire, right, then we're gonna do the DFS here. If not, we're just gonna return the image. I put just comments here because we'll put the method called there. But yeah, our method will have the new method that we'll make will have a void return type, and we can just call it traverse. You could call it DFS, it doesn't really matter. And this is gonna have essentially the exact same parameters as the upper method, except we're gonna also pass it the color that we want to change. So like here in this case, in the example 1, we didn't want to change the 0, so we have to make sure that we know which color that we're actually going to change. So this would be our 1 if we were doing example 1. Anyways, so yeah, these are all the parameters that we'll need. And our method call will be just traverse. Since it's void, we don't need to have a return before it. So just traverse, and then we'll pass in everything that we have. So image, new color, and then color. So this method is essentially done. Now we just need to work on our DFS. So the only time we would change it is if the current pixel value is equal to the new color, or the current color. Actually, let me rename this. This should not be new color. This should be current color. Same thing here. So yeah, the current color. If it's equal to the current color, which is in this, if we took example 1 as our scenario, it would just be the 1. If that is the color that we want to change it, right? We don't want to change it if it's already the right color. So we want to change it if it's the current color. So that what we'll do is we'll change it to the right color. So that is just our color variable. So that's changed. Now we need to look at all the 4 sides. And then with the 4 sides, we need those error checking, boundary checkings, right? So I guess we'll start off with the easy ones. If your rows is greater than or equal to 1, that means these are the lower bounds of the row, because I'm going to do a -1. So what I mean by that is this. So we'll do the traverse method, right? Recursion, and we'll do a -1, right? We want so if we're doing a greater than 1, we make sure that we're not going into the negatives, which is not possible. So there's that, right? Oops, and then color. And then I'm going to copy these if statements 4 times, because essentially we're just changing a few things. So now we'll do the same thing with the column here, and then this one will just become -1. So I'm keeping everything else constant, but just changing the ones that I'm doing checking for. And this one, these will be the upper bounds. So for the row, we want to make sure that it is less than image.length minus 1, because the maximum value that we can have without being out of bounds is image.length minus 1, right? So that's why we want to make sure it's less than that. And in that case here, we're going to do +1 because we're doing upper bounds. Column is also the same thing, except since this is a 2D array, I'm going to go into the first row, which is this part, and then just do a -1, and it works out here because everything is filled, so it's not like we have like null values anywhere, at least according to the prompt. So there's that, and then again we'll just do a +1 here, and yeah, this should essentially be our method here for the DFS. We're checking all the sides, we're checking the boundaries, and then we're just traversing into that and making sure we're changing to the right color. So yeah, we can try this out. Let's see if this gives us what we wanted. The code is pretty slow. Okay, so the first two test cases, which are example 1 and 2, they seem to pass. Let's submit. Code slow. Okay, awesome. So yeah, it works and we got it right. So yeah, I hope you learned something from that. It's just a depth first search. In fact, depth first search is a pretty common algorithm used in a lot of these questions, so it's a pretty good algorithm to know. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comment section below if you want to see more LeetCode questions or something like that, and then make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends so we can reach more people. But otherwise, I hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching.